seem to figure out what it was. I think that it was a legitimate miss.
If it was an error on your part, it was a Mandela effect, because I seem to remember there being a runner thrown out as well. Well, here's a pitch. Fired in for a strike, 1-2. The Mandela effect, of course, a psychological phenomenon when a large group of people misremembers a certain fact or event. Most notable example would be the spelling of the Berenstain Bears. Swing and a miss, and he goes down. 1 out now on the board. O'Brien gonna have to claw his way back into this one like he did in the first inning.
Stepping up to bat, number 15, Eric Wilson.
And it appears as now we are now half baseball broadcast, half psychology class.
It was more of a cool fact than psychology.
Fair enough.
For some reason, a lot of people think the Berenstain Bears was spelled differently.
I got no answer for that one, Sam.
Lays down the bunt. O'Brien comes up with it, fires it over to first. 1 out there, looks back the runner on third. That was exactly how to deal with that situation.
Fantastic execution by the Eagles.
Stepping up to bat, number 13, John Bardich.
Fantastic bunt play execution. So now, once again, out of a weird situation, 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs now for O'Brien.
Bardich has been the most dangerous hitter for the Wolverines. He got that double down the left field line, got hit by the pitch in the last inning.
Bardich is not exactly a tall player, small strike zone, harder for pitchers, but he swung anyway there. Nice fastball, a little bit outside, 0-1. Let's get back to the baseball now. How about?
It's a good idea.
O'Brien steps off the mound. Still got a little bit of time to tweet us your answer to the trivia question of the day. I didn't get any answers yet, but I did get an adorable picture of a dog.
That just makes everybody's lives better.
It really did. Floats it in for a strike, 0-2. And that made Nick O'Brien's life better, as now he's got an 0-2 count and 2 outs.
Nicely done, Sam, but he can't quite afford to have a throwaway pitch because of that runner on third base.
O'Brien looking for a sign, and now time called by Bardich, trying to interrupt O'Brien's rhythm.
As a veteran move from the upperclassman Bardich.
And here's the pitch from O'Brien. He's going to hit that one into right center field. Snyder comes in and makes a catch. That's going to end the top of the 4th. We'll be right back with the bottom right after this. Sam Gelfand, Ben Curtis, Brainwash Sports, Twitch TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the fourth. Xavier Edwards is going to start things off for North Broward. Xavier is 0 for 1 on the day, flied out to the left fielder. In his first at bat, this is his second at bat. Of course, Zach Oberville on deck for North Broward, who is also 0-1, but a much more dangerous hitter. No one more dangerous on the base paths, though, than Xavier Edwards. 1-0. That's one ball closer to having to find that out the hard way.
And Brown has to be very careful what he does with Edwards here. A leadoff man in Edwards getting on can spell some serious issues with Goberville up next.
Well, he rips that one to center field going back, but makes the running catch. And that's going to bring up Goberville.
Stepping into the bat, number 24, Zach Goberville.
Goby, as always, playing third base. A hot corner now, the Goby Desert, as long as you're here at the North Broward Preparatory School.
I think that's replaced the copper counter as the new Brainwash Sports Twitch TV term, I suppose.
It could. We have a lot of terms, though, such as setting the bar low.
It's created an entire lexicon, hasn't it?
Really, we're basically Seinfeld. Although I gotta say, I wish I had 1/10 of the fame, power, or wealth that Jerry Seinfeld currently has.
My uncle used to look a lot like Jerry Seinfeld. That's
Really?
something.
That is something. I can just do the impression fairly well.
I think.
I'm not gonna try it right now.
Please spare us.
Taking for a ball, 3-0 now. Well, we've been talking about Seinfeld. Goberville's been talking about getting on base. Although actions speak louder than words, and so is his eye. Now, while there's a brief mound visit, I think it's about time that we talk about our trivia question.
Let's do it.
We got one tweet, and the tweet was successful. Our question was, what is the one item in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, that has an asterisk on it? As we were talking about Roger Maris earlier on, and after this pitch, well, let's talk about it. Ball 4. Goberville's going to take his base. Well, as soon as the music dies down anyway, so everyone can hear it properly, Quiet struck out in his last at bat. Slow clap coming from the North Broward dugout. So, you want to reveal the answer, Ben?
I absolutely will. It was Barry Bonds' record-breaking 73rd home run.
Breaking Roger Maris' record of 61. Of course, technically, I guess you could say Babe Ruth's record still stands.
You know what? I shouldn't have said that because it was a Barry Bonds breaking record, but I don't remember if it was 715 or number 73 on the year. Now I feel very foolish.
Regardless, I believe technically the single-season record might still belong to Babe Ruth, as he did it in 154 games, where 162 has been everyone since Maris.
But if you adjust it, even for 162, Barry Bonds' 73 still has it.
The count is 1-1. Those are technicalities that I'm not very good at because they involve math.
As we've mentioned many a time, math not the strong suit of either one of us.
That's why we're in the broadcast booth. That one is fouled up. Just out of bounds. Barely misses the bleachers, and that could have been ugly.
Everyone's got to stay heads up there on the far side. Good for North Broward that they put the screening from the edge of the dugout to the edge of the dugout, excuse me. It's a good way to protect fans, and it's something that I think should be increased across professional baseball.
I agree as well. I happen to know someone who very nearly got hit on a ball that went through the screen.
Well, it's no use to have screens unless you make them very protective.
True, it was at the original Yankee Stadium. Ball rocket back to the backstop, went through the screen.
That just shouldn't happen.
Perhaps it was an old screen, as that one just fouled off. Similar place, a little more mustard behind it, though.
The one argument against additional screening is that there is nothing more fantastic than going home with a souvenir. Well, I think that that is superseded by the fact that there is nothing worse than going home with a brain contusion.
This is true. Another question, though. Why do we say it's got some mustard on it when describing how a ball was hit? Like, as Jared Hellman's walking in with some ketchup, why don't we say ketchup? Why mustard? Why not mayonnaise? Why not any other
mayonnaise
condiment?
is
Some
disgusting.
relish.
Let's just start off
Mayonnaise
with
is
that.
disgusting. I'm not a fan of mayonnaise either. If you're a fan of mayonnaise, don't be afraid to tweet us why we're wrong. At Stuck in Sam's Header, at Ben Curtis MBPS, as Clyde strikes out on a controversial call, bringing up Ogozali.
No penny. Number 11, Dylan Ogozali.
I mean, I've heard of some people who do enjoy mayonnaise. I know some people like to add mayonnaise to grilled cheeses, which I just feel must be ruining the grilled cheese.
I think that's against the Geneva Conventions, actually.
That one's ripped to the third baseman. Steps and throws to the first baseman, and he gets the out. We'll discuss this at the top of the fifth with your mayonnaise-related questions. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get to your mayonnaise-related questions, comments, and concerns, there's been a small change, or not really a small change, an important change on the diamond as Blake Houston, number 7, is now pitching for North Broward. And Dylan Ogozali, who was DHing, is now at first. So Houston hitting for himself in the 8-hole. Here's his first pitch.